Hi everyone, welcome to this Google Digital Garage training session on Create Video for YouTube. My name is Benedict. I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. Just a bit about myself. I'm an experienced coding specialist and digital skills trainer, as well as having a background in the digital creative industry, worked in this sector for over 20 years. I would also like to introduce our amazing moderator, Sarah. Sarah is also a Google Digital Garage coach and will be interacting with you and answering just about all of your questions via the instant chat to the right. You can identify the moderator by her name, Sarah, as well as a little blue spanner next to her name. Now, just before we start, I just want to go through a couple of things to help you today. Firstly, if you're having any trouble viewing the webinar at any stage, please do try refreshing your page. If you would like to join the instant chat today, and please do, because it's a great opportunity for you to interact with us, you do need a YouTube account, which you can very easily set up by clicking in the box on the right there. We will be pausing throughout the session to answer some of the different questions, which hopefully Sarah will kindly pass across to me. So please do feel free to fire away with your questions throughout. Now, just to let you know, we are running this Google Digital Garage virtual training as part of a broad offering of courses, and quite a few of these have been updated, so it's quite exciting. So if you would like to check out our schedule of upcoming webinar training, please see information on this in the description below, which links you through to our website. Okay, so that's the housekeeping done, and let us now look at what we will cover today. All right. Oh, yeah, and another thing which would be really great, if you can actually, when you're signing on, could you share with us where you're signing on from? That would be fabulous. And maybe the company, what you're particularly wanting to get out of today, that'd be fabulous. Thank you so much. So first of all, number one, we're going to look at finding your niche. So particularly, what are you passionate about and who is your audience? That's what we're going to be centering on. And then number two, so creating great content. We'll look at the steps to take when planning and shooting and some tips along the way. And then thirdly, get started, get found, and track your success, no matter what you're actually aiming for, whether that be creating a channel for fun or to potentially actually create a money revenue, whatever it might be. We will look at how you get your channel seen. Okay. I'm going to ask you just as a sort of to get everything started here, maybe in a bit of an icebreaker. Could you please think about one topic of YouTube videos? Let's say you're going to be put onto Desert Island, and you're going to be only allowed to watch one particular topic of YouTube video for the rest of your life. What topic would you choose? Okay, I know it's quite a difficult decision because it's one topic for the rest of your life, but it'd be really interesting to see what you come up with. So if you can share that with us, that would be fabulous. I'll keep my eye once we're going through these different things. And if anything comes up, obviously, I will note it. So please do share with us because it's a great opportunity to communicate with us and fire questions and all the rest. Okay, so let us now get started with these three particular points. But, oh, great. So we've got Simone Pryor. We've got self-development. Excellent. Thank you so much, Simone. That's great. Anyone else? That's fabulous. Yes, I must admit, certainly. Self-development, I could never stop making if I was on that desert island. Gadum, step-by-step recipes. Excellent. Great. We've got a self-developer. We've got a chef here. This is great. So that's great. Thank you, Gadum. Step-by-step recipes. Excellent. Anyone else? I'll keep my eye open on that. I'll suddenly jump from what I was talking about to answer, but I'll try not to disrupt it too much. So just one thing I want to share with you, which is very important, is there is actually free one-to-one mentoring, which is available from Google. Now, I'm afraid if you are not in the UK, I'm afraid it's only based in the UK at present. We're hoping eventually this will expand to other countries. By the way, Simon and Gadam, and everyone else, please do share where you're signing on from. That'd be really interesting. But at present, it's just one-to-one mentoring within the UK. So if you are a small business or a charity, it's a great opportunity for you to take advantage of this. You can speak to one of us and we can assist you as best we can with your particular marketing, because we do know that small to medium businesses, you have so much to think about. Us having run our own companies as well in the past, we know what kind of demands there are for running your own company. And then on top of it, there's also the marketing. This is for bigger companies, medium size, maybe where you've got someone particularly specializing in marketing, to ones where there's just one person running the whole show. So do take advantage of that. We can help you whatever stage you might be with your business. Okay. Oh, excellent, Simon. Netherlands. Wow, that's great. Thank you very much, Simon. So let us now get started with the different slides. Now, here are some stats. Okay. So this is particularly just to give you an overview of the reach YouTube actually enables and why it is the right place for you and your content. Now, there's other things you can use. Please understand that. But we're just going to tell you about the benefits of this to help you and assist you. Now, YouTube, of course, is the world's largest video network and the second largest search engine behind Google. So the platform enables you to share your unique stories and build connections, which is really great. Now, there are over 2 billion logged in users visit YouTube each month, meaning almost 1/3 of the internet. Now, every day, people watch over 1 billion hours of video and generate billions of views. And YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, and 500 hours of video uploaded every minute. Now, obviously this is a stat, but of course it's constantly updating. So it's probably even more now, especially since the COVID and everything. So, okay. Now, the big thing here is to have your say on YouTube. Now, YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice and to show them, the world particularly. So these are the YouTube's 4 essential values of freedom, which are very important. So I'm going to go through each of these. Freedom of expression. Now, on YouTube, people can express themselves and share their story with the world. The idea that everyone has something important to say. Now, YouTube believe that people should be able to speak freely, share opinions, foster open dialogue, and that creative freedom leads to new voices, formats, and possibilities. Second one is freedom of information. Everyone should have easy, open access to information. And that video is a powerful force for education, building, understanding, and documenting world events, big and small. Whether your passion is cars or cakes, there is space for you, whatever it might be. With me, it's film music. There is space for you and your passion on YouTube. Freedom of opportunity. So on YouTube, anyone can follow their passion and create something that everyone can watch. Everyone should have a chance to be discovered, build a business, and succeed on their own terms, and that people, not gatekeepers, decide what is actually popular. And then the last one here, the fourth point here, freedom to belong. Everyone should be able to find communities of support, break down barriers, transcend borders, and actually come together around shared interests and passions. Okay. Now, the first step to getting started on YouTube is actually to define a message for your video by finding your niche. Okay, so we're going to start with this particularly, finding your niche. So the big thing here is, identifying the foundations of your channel is really going to help you create content you enjoy and are passionate about and reach like-minded people. So what, why, and who? So what is your channel about? Why are you creating content? Is it for fun or potential work? Document your experiences, share your experiences. Is it to train people in the different things, assist people with different areas that they might not know as much about, have a focus in your hobby? There's many different areas you could be covering, of course, there. Who is your audience? Who's actually going to watch your content? This will really help to decide the tone and style of your video. So we're going to be covering these particular areas. So defining your passion. So a strong or extravagant fondness, enthusiasm, or desire for anything. So what is your channel going to be about? And one of the best things about YouTube is that you can actually engage with and grow a community no matter what you're actually passionate about. It could be comedy, sports, fashion, gaming, food, simple, everyday. There's countless different themes that, of course, come up there. Now, through YouTube, you have the power to connect with a large and diverse audience with the same passions as you. This is a big thing. So determine what your passions are. What are your values and beliefs? What are you really passionate about? What is your story? What are your principles, really, which are really important to you? So if you're not sure what you really want your channel to be about yet, searching through content you actually enjoy watching, this is the best way of finding, working out for yourself, what do you follow? You can actually start thinking about subjects that really do excite you. It's a great way to start. So you can also research what is trending on YouTube for inspiration. You'll have seen that when you go onto YouTube. Often it gives you related topics. If you are signed in and everything, it'll give you related topics to what you've been watching so far, so what you're interested in. And one of the key ingredients to success is really being passionate about what you actually, the videos that you're making. So the first step is to decide what your channel, your YouTube channel, is going to be about. So once you actually know what you really want to talk about, next we really need to think about why. Okay. So before you do anything, so I imagine possibly, I hope, you'll have written down what you actually want to communicate. Use this opportunity to write down for yourselves. I mean, obviously share it with us, that'll be fabulous, but write things down to get yourself started with the process. Now, don't forget, when I finished giving this talk, up to 24 hours after I finished, you can watch this video, same place and everything. But once it's finished, then you'll be able to go back, which is quite useful. And if there's anything you missed, you can go through it. So before you do anything, reflect on your channel's mission. So why did you join YouTube, and what do you hope to accomplish with your actual content? And why are you creating this content? Ask yourself what you're really aiming for. So whether it's, for example, build awareness of your passion, influence and inspire your viewers, entertain people, or just simply, have people love what they're actually doing. Creating content gives you a chance to positively influence, your audience, and sort of make them feel they resonate with you and build that trust, which is very important, which ultimately grows loyalty with your audience. Now, obviously, if you are selling things as well, often those videos where you're helping and assisting them to make a decision doesn't have to be about buying your own particular products, but you're assisting them with that knowledge. They'll often appreciate that, and they won't forget you because you're building that trust. So before you start to create content, you need to be clear on your goal. If you're really clear on your goal first, it makes it a lot easier to create the steps to actually get there. So let's look at some of the channels here. We've got some of the examples. So what their goals might be. So we've got on the left-hand side, we've got their Mama Chérie. Have I pronouncing correctly? I think. So I want to inspire people to love and cook soul food. And it says here, welcome to my channel. Together with my family, foster children, and friends, we will be sharing soul food recipes, cooking tricks, tips, hacks, all seasoned with love. So that's that particular side. If you're really passionate about your cooking, which I seem to remember, if I remember correctly, was it Gadum, step-by-step recipes. Emmanuel, my apologies, I didn't see you there. Day in my life videos. Excellent. That's great. That's great. Okay, cool. Very exciting. Anyway, so going back onto this. Super Sorrel, I want to create a community of toy collectors. Now, a YouTube channel aimed at adult nostalgic toy collectors. Super Sorrel posts daily, bringing toy content and action figure reviews 7 days a week. And he actually says, which you might have seen before on YouTube, I unbox things so you don't have to. You'll often see it not only with toys, but other things as well. Maybe pieces of gadget, whatever it might be, whatever the passion is. And people really do kind of enjoy that, and they can see the different details about it and everything. And here we've got now, we've got Detailing World. So we've got, I want to share my passion for cleaning cars. So, Detailing World here in this context started as a forum and has used YouTube to showcase videos and grow their community. So particularly if you have the passion of cleaning the cars, it's just fascinating because we have so many different areas that people are into, and that's where we are as human beings. We have passions about certain particular areas, and you can find your community out there. The big thing, I mean, some people will not be interested, but that's fine. But the whole point is you're there for the ones who will be really interested, who will really appreciate what you're providing. So, of course, getting clear on your goal, you use it as a foundation to plan out your content. All right. So, all right, a little bit of an activity. I'm going to ask you, please, could you share in the chat your what and your why? Now, I know some of you started a little bit on that was more for what you're going to want to follow, but could you please share with us your passion and why? So, what is your passion and why are you creating a YouTube channel? Just to give you some examples, it could be, my what is for myself. I compose for films, so it could be composing music. Well, sorry, film music, and my why is to teach people to compose in that kind of style with digital audio workstation and that kind of thing. So, it could be that kind of area. My what is politics, for example, and my why is to spark debate. My what is makeup, and my why is to showcase my particular talent. So it could be many different areas. Excuse me. So if you could actually, oh, great, Garum, thank you. So Garum's got here, helping people and creating a channel to make people aware of the support we offer. In other words, advocacy therapy. Excellent. Thank you so much, Garum. That's great. That's fabulous. So everyone else, please do share with us. It'll be really interesting to see your particular sides and what your particular passions are and what particular videos you're going to be putting together. Even if you change your mind later, never mind, get started and write it down. Well, sorry, type it out to us so we can see it. That'll be fabulous. I'm going to keep going because, of course, I'm looking at the clock and everything. I'm going to keep within my time limit, but please do share and I'll keep an eye if anyone else puts anything else there. So we do actually talk a lot in all of our talks about knowing your audience. It is so important to really know your audience. It's kind of like with a cycle, it's kind of getting out there and then it's kind of going all the way around and then getting those people, that feedback, those people interested, and then going through the cycle again. But you've got to know who the people are who are interested in, so you can really reach them. So not only great. So we've got. Let me see now. Because you think I can. Excellent. Because I think I can. Sorry, got you. Gathering recipes, making meal plans and grocery lists for individuals who want or need to live a gluten-free diet. Sorry, gluten-free diet. I can't pronounce this. Gluten-free diet. There we go. Got it finally. Thank you very much. Because I think I can. Thank you very much. That's great. That's fabulous because there'll be a lot of people who are in that kind of situation. So you can be sharing that kind of thing to really assist them and help them. And they will really appreciate that. Thank you. Because I think I can. Okay, cool. So just going back onto this. So you need to know your audience. So in addition to why you are actually telling the story, think about who you're really targeting. You already do want to identify your audience, who's going to be watching your channel. Now, if you think about this before starting to create your content, then you can tailor your communication for them, basically. So you want to be sure that viewers relate and resonate to what your particular videos. So who or where is your audience? Think about all the details: age, gender, parental status, which I can tell you as a parent, once you do have children, there's a lot of changes one goes through. Household income, very important as well. Geographic location. What are their behaviors and interests, hobbies, music, movies, sport, history, pets, product research? What video content are they watching? Is it informational, conversational, social, emotional, entertainment? Is it to assist them and help them? Let's say they need to find the gluten-free diet, for example, because I think I can. That would be the particular area, that they need to be able to work on, for example. And then also with Gadam as well, so they're helping people. So you've got to work out ideally, you've got to work out who they are. Now, all these details like the age, geography, or other characteristics of your audience may impact your tone of voice. Now, just to quickly tell you about this, Sarah will share this with you. A useful tool to help identify your audience is Find My Audience. Surprising with the title, Find My Audience on thinkwithgoogle.com. So do use that to help you and assist you. There's different tools that you can use. There's quite a few, but yeah, if you do as much research as you can to find those particular things to assist you. Another one is Answer the Public as well. Another one you could use possibly as well, just to get you a feel for the kind of person. You're kind of building up a sort of persona, so you can really visualize that person, that kind of general person, and then you can be directing your videos particularly to that person. So is it Iam? Is that right? Iam, Lydia, Jean-Paul, I think. Sharing my everyday lifestyle vlogs. Excellent. Travel experience. Oh, lovely. Shopping hauls. Yes. Product reviews. Excellent. That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, all of these things, there will be people who will really love to watch your particular videos. Okay. But it's finding that audience to make sure that you know who you're directing to. So here we've got this creating a persona. Now, we used to have a Google Digital Garage talk on, building up your own particular business. This is when we had the stores. And we did concentrate on particularly this thing of building up a persona. It's so important. It's a representation of your particular ideal subscribers. The individuals who will come back time and time again to watch your videos and potentially refer you to new subscribers as well. Now, whatever the content may be, you will always have a persona that your videos resonate with. So in that sense, it's important to try to understand, learn, and adapt to that persona. It is difficult because, of course, you can't see them. But you can see, to a certain extent, of course, their questions, their reviews, and all that kind of side. And there's certain things we'll help you with today to take it even further digitally. But creating a persona really does help you to always check in that you are creating content that aligns with your passion, your goal, your audience, your principles, all those different things. A persona is a representation of your real target audience. So you want to avoid biases and create it from research. So there are so many different sources to draw from. A good place to start, find my audience, which I mentioned already, to identify, pain points, desired experiences, values, goals. If you already have subscribers, of course, use them to create your persona as they resonate with your content, those ones who are following you already. And then utilize tools that offer statistical insight into how subscriber behavior translates to the web. Now, we're going to look at YouTube analytics later in this section as well. In this session. If you haven't got subscribers or channel yet, don't forget to take advantage of YouTube and Google searches. YouTube and Google are the largest search engines. So see which keywords you want to rank for and figure out why the top search results landed their position. We are going to look at the importance of trends, keywords in the next section of this session. All right. So when creating your persona, add as much detail as possible so you can imagine that person. So each persona should have a unique name. So you consider it as a photo, maybe even a photo that kind of looks similar to this, or it really help you give a virtual identity. And then description, summarize the person: hobbies, desires, pets, frustrations, all those different things. Okay. So now, of course, we've built the foundations behind our channel. We can really put them together to create our content ideas. So here's an example. So my passion is cars. Okay. Why? I want to share my passion and knowledge. And who we've got the persona we've built up, Rohan, loves learning about car detailing. Okay. So the content idea: create videos showcasing tips on how to look particularly after your car. Okay. Now, let us move on to the questions. See if there's no questions yet, but do fire away with any of your questions. It's great that you're all here today. We're here to assist and help, of course. So any questions along the way, do fire away with your questions. We're kind of starting with the sort of general where you're heading for, where you're aiming for, all of those kind of sides. The next thing we're going to be looking at now is more actually the process of creating engaging content, the the technological side, you could say, as well, to advise you and assist you, strategy, the different hardware we suggest you to use, all of those different areas. Okay. So the first question, I know we kind of sort of referred to it with the desert island. What do you think makes engaging YouTube content? Because with the big thing here, why do you enjoy watching YouTube videos that you already watch? That is to do with the similar thing that you want to be starting. What particular thing? What is it about those videos that keep you watching? What makes you subscribe if you have subscribed and share? All of this would be really great. As Sarah says, if you can let us know in the chat, that would be fabulous. We're here to chat. And I got the chat here, and so Sarah, and it's just really nice when we can see all these different things. Anyway, the big thing here, please understand, like a lot of these creative things, there is no wrong or right answer here, of course. It is really about personal preference. Now, I compose for films. I recently composed for a horror movie, which had its recent premiere. And I do remember there was one person in England, won't mention any names, but he was right to the camera, thinking, I was a bit like, no, please. But so I kind of avoided his videos at first. But eventually I started watching them and actually had quite a good sense of humor. And eventually I could actually see there was a lot of good. The bizarrest one I think I saw was when he took his old keyboard and he threw it into his swimming pool. That was a very bizarre thing. And then when he bought the new one, he already taken the other keyboard out, obviously, of the swimming pool, let it dry. And he said, let's see if it'll still work. It's a very bizarre thing to do. But of course, obviously, it got a lot of attention, a lot of amusement amongst people. And actually, at first, it didn't seem to, but then we got some notes out of it. But sometimes, there can be some most bizarre videos as well. But the big thing is, you're working out, you're targeting an audience, you want it to be something which will really appeal to them, which will resonate with them. I mean, as I said, I didn't resonate at first with this one, but eventually after a bit of time, it built on me as a way. It grew on me. Now, one way to see what is popular on YouTube as well is actually by viewing what is trending on the homepage. Now, don't forget, homepage is using a lot of what you're watching already if you are signed on. So it'll give you the latest stuff. And actually, I must admit, I do find that quite useful because, of course, composing for film, a lot of those will come up. And I'll often go, oh, yeah, watch that later or watch it at the time. So list of trending video actually helps you actually see what is popular and happening on YouTube and in the world. So it keeps you informed the whole time. Okay, which is really useful. Now, we are going to look at creative strategies that really do help, develop engaging videos and build a loyal community. So let's break down the steps, needed to actually create engaging content. So here we go. All right, so these are now a little more the technical things, but the things you need to do: research and plan. Of course, in another talk we've got, the actual research, the actual planning of the thing reduces. It's like if you spend time on planning it, you do so much of the time that you spend on the thing. Now, I trained it was a gourmet restaurant in Norway, and I trained the company during the lockdown. They were having to do videos and send the half-prepared ingredients and everything to these different places, to the different houses. So they had to get the videos ready. And I do remember I said, look, it's very important though, as well, you do work out some form of script. It doesn't matter how it is and everything. But I went through all of that. And the person who said, no, I won't do that was, of course, the boss, who was the main chef. And he's like, who was actually presenting it. He said, no, I don't need it. But of course, as we discovered, once we got down to filming, got all the cameras in place and everything, he did discover eventually that he needed to. So research, really will give you a strong foundation for engaging content. This is a big thing. So find out what is popular, what it will really work, all those different things. And then planning your content will really make creating it easier and save you time in the long run. You know, an hour, this is the one I was looking for. An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. There we go. I knew that was a phrase we had there. And then have your equipment ready. Now, it's easier than you may think to get started. We will have a look at using equipment you already have. That's what we recommend, as well as ways to enhance your video further. Okay, just be careful you don't rush out and buy all the latest equipment. Create your content, so once you're actually ready, get out and give it a go. You need to test run it, practice it, record it, watch it. It's so important to take on a trial and error attitude. Very, very important. And of course, we all make failures whilst we are learning the different ropes. So don't be too hard on yourself. And then, of course, organize and edit. Now, we'll have a look at the simple sets, you know, to really consider when actually editing. All right. So starting off, first of all, with research. Okay. Being well-informed can really kickstart your creative process. You know, can really get you started, you know. So get really inspired about the ones you've watched or the things you've seen, everything. Explore competitor content. Look at what is already being done. Think about, I mean, this is the whole thing. Whilst you're watching the different things of your competitor content, maybe you're discovering more and more about your unique selling point, that what you provide, that some people are asking for and everything, but you do provide. And listen to experts, you know, or someone with experience and learn from their story, which is really useful. Then analyze the news, social media trends, current events, or debates that people may feel strongly about, and determine how these contribute to the conversation as well. So there are many resources available to you to support your research needs. Now, here are some to consider using. Okay, think with Google. As mentioned, Find My Audience is one tool on thinkwithgoogle.com. There are so many useful research resources. You will find the data we're exploring and the trends we're tracking, along with forward-looking perspectives and behind-the-scenes looks at digital campaigns across, you know, industries, platforms, audiences. Google Trends allows you to really track the popularity of various search terms over a period of time. For example, a channel may notice that search traffic around unboxing, what I mentioned before, tends to spike every year in the months of November, December. No big surprise, of course, Christmas coming up. Knowing this, the channel could actually get ahead of the trend by shooting and editing a few unboxing videos in October, scheduling them for release just as the search traffic spikes, for example. Now, if you already have a channel, utilize YouTube search traffic will actually allow you to see what searches direct viewers to your content. Okay, this can give you insights on things like titling, which is very, very important. It's often it comes out as a keyword, popular formats, and audience familiarity with your name or brand. And for example, a channel may notice that a significantly higher number of viewers arrive to the channel by searching for the title of a popular format, like meme review, as opposed to searching for the channel name itself. Now, this would indicate a high viewer affinity for the format, and actually might encourage the channel to, to make the format a bigger part of the overall channel's content. You constantly need to use this information, this data that's constantly provided to you. It's really useful to take advantage of. And talking about data, we've got YouTube Analytics. Now, YouTube Analytics, of course, lets you monitor the performance of your channels, videos, and content with up-to-date metrics and reports. So there's a ton of data available in different reports. So, for example, views, traffic sources, demographics. We'll have a look at how to use your analytics to measure progress later in this session. Okay. Now, once you've actually researched your passion, audience, and everything in between, you want to think about the type of content to create. Okay. So let's have a look at this. So the right type of content for you. Now, there is something as well, which I'd recommend, YouTube Creator Academy. Now, YouTube Creator Academy, Sarah, if you can provide them with the link for that one. It's very useful because it's people who've been very successful with YouTube, and they're sharing what they've learned and everything. So I'd recommend that to assist you and help you. But anyway, let's simplify this with just looking at these particular areas. So consider what resources and what time you particularly have. What can you realistically achieve? This is a big thing, realistically achieve. Don't dream too much in too short a time. Within your day-to-day, how can you actually make time for your channel and your content? So deciding what type of content is right for you is very, very important. Now, there are a number of different options. So one of them, of course, is one-off video. So get your message across with a quick, impactful hit. Short form, keeping your video under 3 minutes. Now, this is great if you plan to be always on channel, releasing content with a continuous theme in the same format. And then we've got, for example, longer form video. Can you actually deliver information in a way that keeps people coming back for more? Excuse me. Long form typically means longer than 3 minutes. Now, an example of this would be podcasts, interviews, live stream, documentaries, for example, series. Okay, you can take as long as you want to tell your story. A series, of course, as you know, is a variety of videos that connect, to complete your story. So there's, part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. You may release them all at once or sporadically, or maybe, it could become a regular post for you on your channel. The big thing is you may want to start small, and then build as you grow into the platform. We would recommend this because the whole point is it's a learning process. If you start too big and then you've got so much to learn, you've got to allow time to learn from these different things. So, or maybe even try and test a few different styles of content with your audience and see how they do by using all that data. Now, when you're actually deciding what content works best for you, refer back to your goal and why you are actually creating content. Very, very important. It can actually be helpful to create a release schedule as well. If you sort of decide this is when this is going to be for, gets your mind working. So a release schedule. So release schedules are really critical when building and, fulfilling audience expectations. Now, following on from thinking about the type of content, you want to, ask yourself, how many videos can you release per week? Don't be too ambitious here. What days of the week will you release on? Having a set number of recurring releases really linked to specific days of the week will ensure that audiences know exactly when they can expect content to be posted to your channel. And they will often look out for that. And will you rotate content type? Some creators, rotate content types throughout the week. An example of this would be, posting lightweight vlogs, BTS on Tuesdays, and then higher production value sketches on Friday, for example. And will you link content to specific days of the week? Tech review Tuesdays, fun facts Friday. I don't know. So you kind of create what you want to use there according to the day. All right, let's look at the structure. Structure is so important. So we're starting off, first of all, of course, with a hook to grab their attention, the middle, engage, keep them watching it, and the end, calls to action, okay, which is so important. So the beginning, of course, you introduce the aim of the video and make sure all of your content tees up to this aim, okay? You want to hook your audience, grab their attention at the beginning so they continue watching. The middle, you actually engage. Now, this is your main content. What are you trying to communicate and why is it important? Everything should ladder up to your core content goals. You may, want to identify a problem for your viewers and follow it with a solution. Now, the end call to action, a clear call to action really does tell your audience what to do next. Subscribe, comment, watch another video of yours. Again, think back to your goal. There's so many videos I've watched where they always have do subscribe at a certain point in the video, and they choose it very, very carefully once they've already caught your attention on the different things and following. So, there's positions of where to put it. And yeah. And then actively ask for comments, likes, and subscribers in your videos. You're asking them to communicate with you. It's so important because people really do like that. And try and focus on the benefits of subscribing. So, can you give them some kind of discount or something to egg them on to subscribe? And then it really does lead to more viewers and more promotion as similar search or viewed on YouTube. Now, this may be, and of course, your final clear end, the call to action, you could have it right near the beginning, really early on, but once you've got them caught, as it were, but you can also have it at the end. And of course, you've got to remember as well, not everyone watches to the end. So call to actions can be used throughout your video. I wouldn't do it more than twice, quite frankly. This is my own personal opinion. I wouldn't do it too many times. And then, of course, before filming, you may want to actually write down what you're going to say, particularly if you're new to this kind of thing, Please don't forget that the most important thing is what you're communicating and you as a person. So that's what people will resonate with at the end of the day. But when you're actually writing for the video, there's different ways of doing this. It could be simple as it's got to be what works for you. It could be simple as a page of talking points to remind yourself of what topics you want to cover. Depending, on the type and complexity of the video, you may write a full script. It provides specific dialogue for speakers. It can include directions for the crew if you have one, even if your friend is filming for you. If you're actually looking to create a scripted video, you can find sample templates online. It's best to write with your own flair and voice. This is the whole point. People are going to resonate. It's because of your flair and your voice and who you are and what you're communicating. Everyone has their own way of storytelling, but storytelling is so important. Us humans, we love the storytelling. So try to put as much of yourself into it as possible because, it's going to be more authentic. Even if you don't have scripting experience, jump in and write from your own unique perspective. Keep in mind your what, why, and who as your foundations. And, it will really help you decide the tone of your voice for your writing too. Now, when I used to run a 2D, 3D, and whiteboard animation company, and for the whiteboard animation, which I and my company specialized in, is I would actually write out the way I did it and just seemed to work for me. I write out in pencil, maybe not as neat, but I would write out I would work out for them what basically the script would be, because of course it was my voice, which was the voiceover. So I'd write it out, and then I would sketch just underneath, very, very simple design. Because the whole point is, if they clicked with that design, if they could see that and think, oh, that relates to that, great. This is the way that I worked with them, basically. Then, of course, if they chose it, then I got into vector graphics and really good style and the gradients and all the rest. But I would just write and then I would sketch underneath. Now, obviously, whatever works for you is the most important thing. Now, a few brief tips. So, a big thing is speak directly to your audience. If you imagine you're speaking to someone who's very important to you, it could be son, daughter, partner, it could be your parent, whatever it might be. Just imagine that you're communicating to them, because people prefer being spoken to rather than being spoken at. Right, now we're going to go, I think they generally do prefer that. And write it the way you would actually say it, because at the end of the day, you're going to be saying it. So your audience isn't going to, I think, I must admit, well, one of the talks I think was the worst, sadly, but it was a person who was reading basically it was what their doctorate, and everything. They're reading it out page after page, but the problem is it got really boring because, of course, they're just reading from the page. So, it's very important so that it's nice and light and it's you communicating. And then read your script out loud. So it's the only way to find out if your dialogue sounds natural. Test with your friends, your colleagues, wherever it might be. And if you make changes, read it out loud again. Keep testing it. And once the dialogue is clear, you'll know roughly how much footage you need to shoot and what shots you need. If you're using a voiceover, be sure to shoot some extra footage to account for pauses, and visuals that don't make the cut, that kind of thing. Now, a good way to plan your shots is by using a storyboard. So this is a kind of official film storyboard. So storyboards, it's a great tool to use to plan out your video. You really don't need to be an artist to sketch out your video plan. The point is what you recognize it because you're in charge of it. Start with your beginning, middle, and end, then plan each shot in detail. The more you plan here, the easier it is to shoot the video. There are digital tools available if you prefer, such as storyboardthat.com. Thank you very much, Sarah. Storyboardthat.com. You could even write your storyboard out as a shot list if you don't want to draw the visuals. I mean, as I mentioned the way I did it as well. The important thing here is to consider the details. For each shot, consider your goal. Is this part of the hook, engage, or calls to action part of your story? Which part is it? The visuals, what can be seen in the shot? Background item, a person, all these things. Make sure you haven't got any other logos. It just confuse maybe the issue. Audio, sound, what can be heard in the shot? Musical talking is so important. The audio, a lot of people sign up because of the audio. If the sound is not good, they'll often leave. Props, what's needed to make this shot effective, really? And crew, do you need help? Do you need someone to be filming, or is your camera placed somewhere stationary? Do you need someone passing to the presenter whilst in the shot? These kind of things you need to ask yourself. With all your research and planning done, the next thing to consider is your equipment. Okay, now we really do recommend more than anything is to start with what you have. And of course, you may think you need to have access to a fancy studio or start thinking about turning the spare room into a studio or move the kids to the garage so you have more space, or whatever it might be. Let's not go too far. So the good news is you probably already have most of the things you need to get started. Now, video camera. With technology, improving the whole time on phones, on mobile phones, most camera phones now are high resolution and definitely good enough to get you started. So think about mounting the smartphone on a tripod, because a stable image looks better than one created with an unsteady handheld camera, unless you want to include that for particular reasons. Nothing's right or wrong here. If you can't invest in a tripod, use something steady to rest the phone against at a height that will suit your video. Maybe some books, or a shelf. I mean, I've got a light at the moment, which is an LED light, which is shining on me. And that's down there, because if I had it up there where it would normally be placed, it'd be competing with the skylight I have. So all these different elements. So natural light, of course, is effective for filming, but if you set up facing a window, the natural light is going to enhance, so you've got to make sure, don't have the light behind you, then you'll just see yourself as a silhouette. And also, please don't have a light just directly above you. You just can have long shadows, unless that's all part of the video that you're putting together. So it could be distracting to your viewers. So try and angle the lighting. The way I do it normally, I've got one which is one color over there and one which is just kind of white, slightly off white, it's like a blue light facing me. And I actually have a skylight, which wasn't really my choice, but it kind of adds competition to it and sort of for the whole lighting. Then video editing software. There are lots of options when it comes to editing. So lots, of course, if you're on Mac, of course, there's iMovies, which you get. With PC, there's Windows Movie Maker you can use. There's many different pieces of software that you can use, and free online editing apps as well. You can also actually do some quick editing touch-ups in YouTube Studio. So because you need to set up, of course, YouTube Studio. Now, don't forget, so long as you've got a Gmail, you can set up a professional YouTube Studio with that. So, for example, you can add or edit screens, as well as trim unwanted. Sorry, this is the YouTube Studio part. Or you can also trim unwanted sections of your video before or after publishing. I think as well, you can also get some royalty-free music as well that you can use, which is very useful. So you can always add to your basic equipment. As you can see, you can start with what you have. Excuse me. So let's have a look at the actual pieces of hardware. Tripod, as I said before, steady held camera is going to look more professional. Lighting, of course, there are lots of affordable LED lights. We do recommend LED lights. I mean, at the moment, mine is at 14%. If I change it to 7%, maybe the shadow will go a little bit. But, I mean, I think I'll leave it at 7. It's getting quite dark. So, I mean, that's 7%. If I had it 100%, I would look like a ghost. So, of course, LED is very powerful, but doesn't use very much electricity. LED lights are more expensive than a normal lamp and everything, but the point is, it's very useful for when you are presenting. But as I said before, you can use natural light and everything. You can use that, but just be careful. There's suddenly going to be a cloud and suddenly it gets very dark, that kind of thing. Yes, with LED lights, of course, the big thing is the flexibility. And make sure the light is coming from behind the camera. I mean, mine is behind the camera, but on that side, directed towards what you're actually capturing. Microphone. Now, this is so important. It's very, very important that you're heard. Now, as I said before, with the research done, they found that often people will leave the video because the sound is not good. So remember that the microphone on your phone was designed to pick up you speaking from a close distance. So I wouldn't recommend you using, of course, the sound from that. So you could be using a different kind of microphone, that you have a microphone underneath you. I mean, more expensive would be direction microphone pointed at you. Lapierre microphone, you attach to here, many different options that you've got. And one of the things you could start with, always starting with low budget and everything, you could start with a microphone. I mean, I've got a condenser microphone here, which is very good quality and all the rest, but you really don't have to go to that kind of extent. You can have built-in, because that goes to a external sound card and all the rest, but you can have microphones which takes your sound, you plug it in as a USB into your computer, you've got the sound. So, there's nothing wrong with that. And then video editing software. As you get more experience with creating content, you may decide to purchase a more sophisticated editing program that actually gives you more options, but start with the simpler ones. Now, you can start making content with what you have and grow your kit with your experience. Again, consider your end goal throughout your planning process and when arranging your kit. This is really going to help you with your editing. Okay, so top tips to think about. Consider what can be seen, what is in the background, what's on your clothes. Avoid prints, choose clear backgrounds. I mean, we typically do clear backgrounds, you have noticed. Be careful about the logos, which I mentioned before, that you can see whilst you're actually filming. Everything you wear, kind of display, sends a message and adds to your story. Make sure your outfit contrasts with your background so you don't blend in to become a floating head. And then choose your space carefully. Try and find a room with clothes or carpets in and avoid echoes. I think the worst place is probably the bathroom. That's why a lot of us start singing away when we're having a shower. Anyway, camera positions. Great for us when we're singing away in the shower, but it's not great acoustics when you're recording. Camera positions. Consider angles, movements. Think about how your video will actually open and close and what the key moments in between are. How will this actually affect your sound as well, for example? Consider recording your audio separately. Use a free audio app like RecForge or Recorder Plus, and actually record your audio file with a separate device to the one you're actually filming with. And then, of course, you can sync them all and then go ahead. So considering all the detail prior to filming and while shooting is very, very important. So 5 steps to the basic edit. So the best time to start thinking about editing is during the writing phase. So import and organize your footage unless you're actually recording and editing directly on the smartphone. Just realize the time. I'm going to have to move a little bit faster. Review and place your favorite clips. Next, you watch your footage and select the clips you really plan to use. You can bring these clips into the project timeline, then rearrange them to match your story. At this stage, you can actually trim clips or delete entire clips that don't seem to fit. Add visuals and sound effects. Just don't go too far. Don't make sure it's not distracting from your story. Check your sound. So important, your audio, as I say. A lot of people, so it all fits in nicely, your sound effects and music. Don't give them a sudden fright. They'll all go, oh, God, thank you, I'll leave that, whatever it might be. Make color corrections. Depending on your project, you may do some color connection to fit the brightness and change the color to match all your shots. And the mood is very important through the coloring. And then export and upload your video. Review the video a few times to make sure that you're satisfied with how everything looks and sounds. Now, to understand these steps further, head over to the Creator Academy. As I told you before, YouTube Creator Academy, really helpful. There's a beginner's guide to video editing. Okay, excellent. Questions? No time for questions, none yet. Okay, so get discovered and track your success. I've got 4 minutes to finish this one. So the final one, of course, simple ways to help the content be discovered and how to track your success. So how do you know if you're moving closer to your goal and what is available to support you further? So enhance your video's discovery. You can use keywords. Now, just by the way, there is Google Ads. You might have heard about Google Ads before. What I do recommend, you can sign on to Google Ads, and then you can use Google's keyword planner as the most used search engine. It should be able to help you. So that can help you. And another one is Google Trends can help you as well. You don't have to sign off that at all. And then there's be searchable, add tags, and then of course promote as well. So understand your keywords, use really popular terms. So optimizing your video search engine optimization, SEO, around your existing keywords will really help your video get found initially. So you can use Google Trends, particularly for when to be posting these different things. Also, as I've just mentioned to you, but just repetition is great, Google Ads Keyword Planner to really identify popular keywords and their synonyms. Now, including these terms can really help you to maximize traffic from the search. And then avoid irrelevant words in the description because it creates a poor viewing experience. It may violate YouTube policies. Be aware of that. So try to find out what your audience is looking for. Use another one which is very useful is the autocomplete. You can see on the right, they're starting to type. They're suggesting different things underneath. You've seen that before, haven't you? Within YouTube, it's very useful. It's the autocomplete. See what comes up, and you can use those. So once you know your keywords, use them to be searchable. So write searchable titles and descriptions. So important. Now, descriptions can convey valuable information that really helps viewers find your videos in search results and understand what they'll be watching. So well-written descriptions with the right keywords can boost views and actually watch time because they help your video to appear in search results. Now, identify 1 to 2 main words that describe your video and feature them prominently in both your description and title. So reinforce important words. Mini lemon meringue pies appears in this video's title and description. That's the top one, which increases the likelihood that YouTube could surface the video, in search results. And then identify content type. So what are the examples? So that it's really clear what your video is about. So we've got, what are the examples? We've got 10 steps, how to, easy recipe. All of these things are useful. Label with brand or series. So Super Sorrel's name in the title here to help people search for similar videos. So who's done this? Mama Cherry in description, Super Sorrel in the title, and keep your description short and visible. Consider how your description starts, as this is the section that can be read easily. As you can see with these 3 examples, you can only see the first 2 lines. Any additional information will be available in drop down. That's the thing. So add video tags to help viewers find your content. The tags field during the video upload is really useful. So in the example we've got here shows hashtag haul, hashtag toy haul, hashtag shopping haul. So use keywords and the synonyms, including these terms, can really help maximize your search. And just a quick tip, consider information not communicated in your title and description. Think about how you search on YouTube particularly. And then build your community, so important. Integrate your channel into your website, social media, email, and any way you are visible online. It's an excellent way to get your videos in front of interested viewers, encourage continued interaction with your brand and help to really spread your story further. Add links to your emails, videos, to your blogs, share teasers across your social pages, add your social media handles into your description page, and use the community tab to interact directly with your subscribers, so it actually builds trust and loyalty. This is the big thing. And you can also use buttons to your YouTube banner to actually take your viewers directly to your other pages. Okay, I'm having to move quite fast here. And then promote and integrate your channel. So give teasers across other social pages to encourage views about, across your YouTube page. And you want to actually be creating a community around your brand and get your community to spread the word. So what has Mama Cherie, for example, done here to promote her YouTube channel on other platforms? Adding her social platform links onto her YouTube channel, added links to her YouTube channel to her social platforms, consistent branding and the tone of voice, so important, integrated YouTube videos on her social media pages. And if you actually head over to her website, you'll also see that she has integrated her YouTube videos into her site. It's a great way to make the most of your content as well as reach more viewers. Often things like you've got a blog, but you've got the video where you're explaining it and you embed the YouTube on the blog, for example, as well. So understand your users with analytics. Now, we do have a latest one, which is getting started with analytics, which is Google Analytics version 4. So please don't miss that. We help you and assist you with a lot of that. And if you're still having problems and in the UK, you can book for a session to help us and help you and assist you with that. So what types of contents are driving your viewers to your channel? Drill into the list of videos. What creators your audience has an affinity for, the reach and scope of your content. Sorry, this is actually YouTube Analytics. We're talking mainly the other one about Google Analytics, but they do overlap a little bit and relate because they're run, of course, both by Google. Then measure your success on YouTube. Okay, I'd love, so impressions. An impression is logged every time a viewer comes across one of your video thumbnails on YouTube. So be aware this does not include traffic from notifications, end screens, or external embeds or links. And then click-through rate, it shows you what percentage of your impressions on YouTube turn into views and effectively measures how other viewers watch the video after seeing an impression, and then views. And then, are my viewers interested? Average view duration. When do they leave? Why? Watch the time charts, how long viewers have spent watching your content. It really gives you a sense of what content viewers actually watch, which is so important. Pausing for questions, and there are none, but let me quickly go over the next steps on YouTube. So find your niche, build your channel foundations by asking what, particularly why and who, create engaging content, research and plan, choose the right type of content for you, create with confidence, be consistent, and get discovered and track your success. Use keywords to help people find your video, track your success with YouTube Analytics, and don't be afraid to try new content. So I had to rush a little bit the third part. So what are the next steps? Of course, we've covered so much. Go through step by step and write down your next steps just to help you and assist you. So free, and also free one-to-one mentoring, which is available. It is totally free. You don't pay anything. It is in the UK, just so you know. So we can help you whatever stage you are at. So thank you for all your questions. We're going to wrap up here as we're literally out of time. I hope that's been a useful dive into actually creating videos for YouTube. As I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you're interested in more training from Google Digital Garage, there are a few ways you can continue learning Google Digital Garage webinars in different topics and everything. Also, if you'd like to learn online, the Google online training to help you and assist you, they've got quite a few now in AI as well to assist you and help you and how you can use it and everything. And finally, if you have any feedback or questions on today's session, please do contact us via the email chat, team@thedigitalgarage.co.uk, other than, of course, the chat here. So, which is also, of course, at the bottom here underneath. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Thank you, Sarah. You've been absolutely fabulous. We really do look forward to welcoming you again to another Google Digital Garage training session soon. Thank you.